In this week's Stolen Time, what to do when you don't keep your cool with your kids. So I'm Mayan, and sometimes I talk about things that I learn in my parenting journey with now a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old who I love very much. I was on antidepressants for maybe a year, and it's a whole long story that I'm gonna hopefully, maybe, possibly, who knows, talk about in another episode. But basically, they didn't work. And so I got off of them. And during the time that I got off of them, like as it was leaving my system, I felt more irritable. Now I'm kind of back to my usual self, but in fact, so they were not working. But at first I was like, they were working. I'm a mess. But now I'm like, no, they weren't. Okay. So I was more irritable. And so I was like losing my cool more often. And I talked to my therapist about it. And she said, well, we're all going to lose our cool. But the important thing is to know what you need to not lose your cool. And then when you do, to communicate that to the child, like, oh, you know about what happened earlier? I realized I forgot to blank. I forgot to breathe. I forgot to stop. I forgot to take a moment. I forgot to go have a drink of water. I forgot to get enough rest last night. That's probably not good. No, that's not good, because it has to be something in the moment. And that tip that I've put into action has been a game changer. Like, it's been, I could talk on and on and on about how fantastic it's been. So before, when I lost my cool, which I actually don't often lose it, so it happened a lot more during that time when I was getting off this medication. And I was just crazy. I felt crazy. I felt like someone should take these children away from me, because it was horrible. Thank God it's over. And so I had lots of lots of fuck ups in that. Probably it was like a 2-week period where I felt really crappy. And so what I did before was I lost it, and then I was like, I'm sorry, and like everyone's crying, I'm like barely not crying, and it's just like, oh, and I feel just like crawling under a rock and dying. And then after my therapist told me that, and I lost my cool, I was like, and then when things had calmed down, I was like, Paz, who was the kid he's 3, I was like, what I forgot to do is to stop before losing it. Because that's actually what works for me. What works for me is not breathing. It's literally stopping. Like, I don't move. If I do that right before I lose it, it passes. And oftentimes when I stop, I just stop, sometimes tears will start coming out. I know, it's so sad, because there's real feelings underneath that if you just give pause, they have the opportunity to come to the surface. So I was like, Puzzy, I forgot to just stop. And he was like, okay. And so I was like, and what helps you when you lose it? Because that's what my therapist is saying. It's like, these kids need to understand tools for how to navigate emotions, not, perfection in parenting. And they also have to know, I think, what she also said, I think, unless I'm making this up, is that they have to know that we can be trusted, that next time could be different because we have a handle on this. Right? We're not always just going to lose it. There's something to be done. So he was like, okay. And he's like, or breathe. You could also breathe. And I was like, oh my God. To be an informed parent is life-changing, right? You have such a more gratifying experience with the kid, at least for me, you know, having my therapist. And that's just a separate, on another note, just a plug for therapy for like, and a friend of mine told me that because I was like being lazy about seeing my therapist. I was like, I just don't have time. I have this job, laundry. And he's like, yeah, but it's gonna make you better in your life. You're gonna be a better parent. Your kids are gonna be better, is not best the good word, right? Your kids are gonna be something positive kids. Your home is gonna be a more something positive home. And when he said that, it clicked, you know, in the way of like whatever tool that may be for you. For me, it's multiple, and therapy is one of them. But it's like even something that's taking time, or that seems to be taking time, can just have, you know, exponential benefits all around your life. That even though it's taking time, the benefits will eventually you're going to come out winning from this, you know, from this time expenditure. So I just wanted to share that because it was such a game changer to me, and I hope that it can help some parents, because I know that like our patience gets tested, right? And they're so innocent, and it's so easy to like take it out on them. At least for me. I mean, I don't do it, but I can see how easy it is to just take it out on them, because they pushed that button, you know, even though it's not, whatever it is, it's not their fault, but they did push that thing, and you have your own fucking shit that you're carrying and that you're spilling out on them. And they're like so innocent that it's almost like you can be a bully in a way if you're not careful to your kids, because they can just become the recipient of all your fucking shit. So I think this is just a baby step, and kind of easy, you know. What do I need to not lose it? And then communicating that. Because what I've noticed is that communicating that, because I've noticed that Paz, you know, the older kid, a little bit holds me accountable. Like when I say, oh, you know, I pointed out like some kid was angry the other day. I was like, wow, he's super pissed. And he's like, maybe he needs to stop and breathe, you know? So they're like fucking sponges, and we need to take advantage of that. So that's that. Thank you for letting me steal your time. Hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new episodes, and subscribe to the channel. I have lots to say. I just have to get my shit together to say it. Maybe I'll do it. So until next time, bye.